In the last 5 years, hate crime for the LGBT community has risen 112%. So the first thing anyone should be saying within this conversation is solidarity to trans people.
I think the first thing to say in this discussion is solidarity with Graham Linehan for being arrested for making jokes on social media. Also solidarity with the many gender-critical women who have been harassed by the police in recent years, often at the behest of trans activists who take discomfort at the fact that they've been sticking up for women's sex-based rights. We need to put this in perspective here. We've got armed police arresting comedy writers at airports for telling jokes. And if this was an isolated incident, maybe that would be one thing. But at the moment, in England and Wales, more than 30 people are arrested every single day for things they post on the internet. Incidentally, that's more people than America were arresting for speech during the first Red Scare. If that's not a free speech crisis, I don't know what is. And I think
communities who need defending, like the trans community, like the LGBT community,
like
should have politicians from the Labour Party having their back.
Trans community, just like the vast majority of people in this country, want to be safe on the streets, and that means more bobbies on the streets, that means community policing.
You condemn it seriously
and that
enough
means
to condemn the violence.
Less people policing tweets rather than the streets.
Who are we more worried about? Multimillionaires and billionaires who aren't paying their taxes, or people running our NHS?
As you well know, it's also not going to raise enough. And it's not going to solve the problems of the economy, because before we even get into questions of wealth taxes, redistribution, what have you, you need a growing economy. It needs to be a dynamic economy. It needs to be something which is delivering for people, in which energy is getting cheaper, in which we have industry. Again, none of this is possible if you're not only in favour of all of these insane net zero policies, which frankly have been making all of these things worse, but also because of the fact that you're ideologically opposed to the idea of economic growth. What you want to impoverish this country to maybe make up for less than 1% of global emissions.
I think wildfires
the public
and floods
are not
in this country might impoverish this country.
We can't have these insults.
We should ask who funds spiked, because I think when we look into who
this
funds
is hilarious.
spiked...
Our readers, by the way, who give £5 a month,
until
so
Prime
thank
Minister's
you.
question.